All right, folks, so today we're going to talk about how to finish up your informative speech outlines. We're going to talk about the introduction and the conclusion and these connectives that I have here called transition statements that you've all been so excited about in your journals. Just kidding, you've all been dreading them, and that's all right. But let's first go ahead and talk about the introduction and conclusion. So, the first thing that you should say, the first literal thing that should come out of your mouth should not, and I'm going to repeat, should not be your thesis statement and your name. Instead, the first thing that you want to say when you're giving a speech is your attention getter. It should be something that's exciting, that gets your audience already excited about your topic. So it could be something like a joke or a story or a really interesting statistic or anything that's somewhat connected to your topic that will get your audience excited about that topic. So the next thing that you provide after that attention getter, after you grab the audience's attention, is you tell them actually how this topic is relevant to them. So you've got their attention, now you tell them why you need to how you're going to keep their attention, why it deserves their attention. This is called a listener relevance link. So you're connecting your topic directly to how it might impact your audience. So you know that your audience is your classmates and me watching your speech. So how can you connect your topic, whether it be music, theory, or seagrass, or exercise science, or whatever your topic is, political science, engineering. How does that relate to your audience? Are they music consumers? Are they impacted by the wonderful things that seagrass does? I don't know about seagrass, so I'm excited to learn about it too. How does engineering help them in their daily lives? That's what you're talking about here. So you get their attention and you tell them why you should keep it through the attention getter and then the listener relevance link. And then you tell them why they should listen to you about it. So oftentimes, this can come in the form of, I've been researching this topic for 2 weeks, or this is my major. This is something that I'm really passionate in. This is a speaker credibility statement. This is literally telling your audience why they should listen to you, why you're an expert on this topic. And you're just upfront and honest. Sometimes that does mean that you've just been researching it for the scope of this class, but for this speech, you should be a subject matter expert anyways, because this is your major. This is stuff that you know about that no one else in the class knows about. So that's a good thing to remember, is you know the most about your topic in the classroom. So that you're an expert. You just have the opportunity to tell your audience why that is here. After your speaker credibility statement, you have your thesis statement. So this comes in the form of, in this speech, I will inform you about, and then you have 1 to 3 words. So in this informative speech, I will inform you about music theory. In this informative speech, I'm going to inform you about seagrass. Today, I'm going to inform you about political science. Whatever it is, you can just put in, today I'm going to inform you about, and then have your major if you want to. Something very, 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 very simple. And then you preview your main points. So you're saying, this is what I'm going to do today, and then you say, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to inform you about this topic, and here's what I'm going to focus on, these 3 things. And so this is where you use the same language from your main points. So again, remember that our main points should be short, general sentences. They should be 1 sentence each. So your preview of main points should look something like, first I'm going to talk about this, then I'm going to talk about this, and then finally I will talk about this. Replace this with whatever the language is from your main points, and you are good to go. So, in your introductions, just to sum that up, you should be getting your audience's attention, telling them why they should stay paying attention, why they should listen to you, what you're actually doing in this speech, and then how you're going to do it. That's your whole crux of your introduction. Now let's go ahead and move on to your conclusion. You're going to restate your thesis statement in past tense because you've already done it. Today I informed you about, and use the same language as your thesis statement in your introduction. I did this by reviewing your main points using the same language. And then we have the clincher. The purpose of the clincher is to keep your audience thinking about your topic. So the best ones actually tie back to that attention getter. You may refer back to the same statistic or the same story or the same joke. You may choose to put the punchline of the joke here in this clincher. But it's kind of like tying that bow, putting that bow on that finished package. That clincher is just to keep your audience interested in your topic. Now, I want to steer you away from the danger of telling your audience to do something in this clincher, because then you've moved from informing your audience into persuading them to do something. That's really the crux of how to put together your introduction and conclusion. Now, the last thing that should come out of your mouth, just like the first thing shouldn't be your thesis statement and an introduction of yourself, your clincher should just be that good punchline, that good drop the mic and walk away moment. And so that means that you can't say, that's all, that's it, I'm done, thank you for listening. Those all weaken that ending of your speech. Just finish your sentence, drop the mic, and walk away. That's your conclusion. You'll see that it's pretty much a mirror image of your introduction with some of the redundancies removed. Very, very simple. Now let's move on to talking about how I want you to do those transition statements, those connectives. So for your first transition statement, you're going to pull that language straight from your preview of main points. So you just previewed your main points, and you're going to say, first, let's talk about whatever this is. After you give your main point information, you give your next transition statement. And this should sound like, now that we've talked about whatever this main point is, we're going to move on to whatever this main point is. So you review what you just talked about, and you preview what you're about to talk about in your main point 2. Finally, this last transition statement. In this transition statement, you're going to say, now that we've talked about your topic from main point 1 and your topic from main point 2, let's finish up by talking about this last thing. Now, this is going to seem like you're repeating yourself a whole lot of times. You're going to share that information in your preview of main points. You have these transition statements, and then you have your review of main points. Sorry. It's repetitive for a reason. Repetition breeds memorization. It helps your audience remember what you're talking about and what you've done throughout that speech. You're increasing the likelihood that your audience remembers what you've said. And if they don't remember what you've said, you've really done nothing important. So that's how you should outline your speech. Whenever you're actually working on your full outline, make sure to copy and paste that information from your body outline for your main points. And then just make sure to include the transition statements, your introduction, and your conclusion, and you'll be done. All right, talk soon. Bye-bye.